Good morning, friends. How is it going? It's been so long since I've seen you. As you hop on, if anybody is out there who got my message, I posted it very late last night because I realized that the one I scheduled didn't post. So I hope you can join me. If not, you can catch the replay. I will just get up on my screen here, my live, so that if someone is out there and wants to chat with me this morning, I can see what you're saying and chat back. Now, is everybody into pumpkin season? And I've got pumpkins up here. I switched over all of the decor to fall because it is fast approaching here in Edmonton. Usually by Halloween we have snow, as you know. I mention that probably every year, but that's kind of the deadline to get everything done outside and get everything wrapped up for this winter time. So that's what we are into right now, and that's what's keeping me busy and why I haven't been live. But I am back today with some fall inspired and sort of pumpkin spice inspired goodies to share with you. And I think you'll find them very cute and be inspired to get out a set that did carry over in the annual catalog, and then a new one from the online exclusives that I just got recently from a bingo game that I play with Brenda, and then some online exclusive fall sort of paper that I want to draw your attention to because it's absolutely beautiful. I just got a sampling in a little craft club that I'm in, and I absolutely loved it. So I do have more coming this week, just because it is stunning, and you will see it in a moment. Sorry, I had things falling in front of me. My desk is a mess. I probably should take a picture and show you because it normally doesn't look like this, but I'm also in mad dash prep in the last week here for Creative Carnival. If you're local, you can still get the $10 entry to come and visit all the displays, play the games, have some snacks, visit. What else? A photo booth. I just finished that yesterday. It's super cute. And yeah, if you're in the Edmonton area, spread it around to all your friends. Tell them to come out and check it out. You have missed the deadline for make and takes, but you'll kind of get the idea of what, if you've never been, get the idea of what's going on and how we do things and what to expect. And yeah, and then next time you can sign up for make and takes. There's usually 5 of them, so you get to take home 5 cards, and they're usually, sometimes we do them on the displays that we are featuring. I've chosen to use a different stamp set for mine. I'm doing the Festive Friends, and then my display is Traditions of Christmas. So you kind of get a mix. You get to experience everything. It's awesome. It's such a fun day. We love putting it on. And yeah, so cheers. Hopefully you can join us. I've got my chai latte in here instead of a pumpkin spice, but it's just what I had down here. I don't have any syrup left. I'll have to go get some more. I did have some pumpkin spice syrup that I could add to my chai latte to make it a pumpkin chai because that's what I prefer, as I'm not a coffee drinker. So if you've indulged already in a pumpkin spice latte, give me a thumbs up, and that will get you an entry into when we're going to make 2 cards today to win one of the cards, the pumpkin themed one, and then we're going to do one with the other set, which is artistic leaves. So let's flip you around. Let's get started. Let's clear all the clutter out of my way, and we'll start making our cards. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to slide you down. If you get dizzy, look away for a moment. Hopefully you didn't see too much of my mess. I've got a pumpkin latte mix here for you. I probably should have made this, but it's instant coffee, so I do not like coffee at all. Let my screen just catch up here. It looks really close. There we go. I think that might be okay. Okay, so have a chocolate, have a little pumpkin spice sippy sip, and we'll get started. I gotta drink my chai while it's still warm. Okay, let's shoot this over here because otherwise I will dump it. So I just want to draw your attention to a couple things that just released this week. We have a little advent calendar thing that Stampin' Up! Is trying out this year. It is going to start on the 23rd that you can order it. It's $136, and it will be exclusive items. Nothing that we are currently running for sale right now. It'll be all exclusive items. There's paper in there by the looks of the size of the things. There's die sets, there's stamp sets, there's all kinds of little fun stuff in there. So if that's something that you as a crafter would like, tell your significant other or family that that's what you want, and they can order that up for you. And then I don't think I've posted this yet, to be honest. I'm a little behind in posting. So Cozy Christmas is active now, and it's a card kit that you are going to get, 9 cards, 3 of each of 3 designs. And I haven't even watched the preview yet. I just haven't had time. But it's got lovely stitched looking flocking in it and shiny red sequin embellishments. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then you can get the die set add-on, which I know mine's coming this week, so I'll be able to share that with you so you can see what it looks like in real life. But it's got a lovely little joy sentiment that you can use. So that one is just started, and it'll run till October 10th that you can order that, okay? So let's have a look at the paper that I'm talking about, the autumn themed paper. Now it is from the online exclusives, and like I say, I only have a sampling of it. It goes with the Gathering Together suite, which is very fall themed. I do have the, what did I get from that? The twine and the embossing folder that also go with it. But this paper is absolutely gorgeous. Now it is specialty because, as you can see, it's got some champagne foil in it, which is different for us. Very lovely neutral back sides as well. This is what, this is actually the pattern that's on the embossing folder. It's like little teeny tiny leaves. Isn't it cute? And then you've got some beautiful leaves and mushrooms and stuff. So you've got this in, I'm guessing basic beige and white. This is almost exactly the same, just without green in it. And then just a neutral backdrop. Things are falling behind me. And then this one's gorgeous. I'm not sure which way it goes. I think it can go any direction, really. Oh, the mushrooms go this way. So you have to watch for like the mushrooms. Although this one is kind of going in a different direction. So you could probably use it anyway if you really want. Here's another one. Oh, I just love this paper. Love it. And these are like little stars in the background. So that would go really good, like I just showed you with the joy. You can kind of see here, it's kind of got some stars on the corner. This one's got little stars. I don't know if the camera will pick that up in it. So this would go really good with that die. Keep that in mind for your Christmas cards if you just want neutral ones. And this one is very fun. And then just a brown sort of wood look, wash look. So that is the Gathering Together paper. It's got basic beige, Cajun craze, crushed curry, early espresso, the champagne foil, and old olive. Absolutely gorgeous in the online exclusives. Okay, and then I'm just going to look at the stamp set because, oh, I've probably labeled it, so it's probably got the information I want. Oh, maybe it didn't come out in this. It might be from last, I think it's from the last releases, you guys. So let me show it to you. Artistic Leaves. July. Came out in the July online exclusives. It's $28. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got some layering pieces that you can put in the extra colors and stuff like that to make it look very fall. And then you've got Hello Sweet Friend, Grateful for You, and Celebrate Together, and then some spots. So that's fun, right? So I'm going to show you this other card too. That was inspired, well, I guess it's sort of cased. I did switch a few items out. Wendy Lee from Creatively Yours. You'll be familiar with her. She did this one with a sunflower, sort of white on white. Now these little leaves, she used some different leaves. I'm not sure where they came from. I never did get a chance to look it up. But these leaves are from the More Than Autumn die set. So that's where those leaves came from. Now this one carried over in the annual catalog, as I said earlier. So you've got that one, and then these are the little banner dies. I think that's the second one, and then the metallic dots that carried over. So you've got some beautiful sort of fall-y type things that you can create, and definitely bring in your sunflower embossing folder. And if you haven't gotten it, you need it. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so let's get started with Artistic Leaves. I will show you the card that I'm going to make, and then I have a couple extra samples. All right. Oh, first I'm going to go back 2 seconds, and then we'll bump over. This card we made, probably over a month ago now, I think is when I had my last live. Rhonda, you were drawn as the winner, so this will come in the mail to you. And congratulations. All right, and then of course I'll draw 2 names for the cards today. So here is the one that I'm creating. Now I had the lady's name here. Oh, here's my little sticky sheet. Connie Babbert, I think is how you say her name, from Inspired Treasures. She created this card. She had a little bit different coloring on her leaves than I do, and she did not have any embellishments, so I kind of took a little bit of creative license there and embellished it up. So we're going to start with our Lost Lagoon card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have a piece of basic white, 4 by 5 1/4, and I've run that through the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. Now I don't have this tagged as green as last chance, so this should still be available in the online exclusives. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to just attach this down. You may have to use glue depending on this corrugated. If it doesn't stick for you with seal, you can use that. And then we are going to do our leaves. Now I've cut this little sentiment piece out of the retired Happy Little Things dies. If you have these, if not, there's probably a banner shape in something else that you could use, or you could just cut it straight out of cardstock and then embellish it however you like. It's just whether you want the stitching or not. So we're going to bring in our basic beige stamp pad, and I'm just going to stamp 3 leaves, as you see here, onto this scrap piece of basic beige cardstock that I took out. I'll stick that there. And then we are going to bring in, and we are going to fussy cut those in a moment, so I'll just put them over there. And then we are going to bring in this large leaf, and we're going to do a little technique on it, which I haven't done in quite a while actually. So we're going to open our Lost Lagoon ink. We are going to stamp our leaf into it. Then we're going to bring in Old Olive and a sponge dauber. And we're just going to daub on, or dab on, however you say it, some green Old Olive into different spaces. And then we're going to stamp that down. So every leaf could turn out differently depending on what you do. And if you want it more prominent in color, you could just stamp this on white and cut them out. This is just again on the Lost Lagoon. Then I'm going to go back into the Lost Lagoon, back into my Old Olive, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to try and put my coloring in a different area than I did on the first one, if possible. And so we've got 2 different leaves there. Pretty, right? Okay. We'll close those up so we don't get that all over ourselves and get those daubers out of the way, and our stamp. Okay, so now we can do our quick fussy cut. Actually, before we do our fussy cut, let's stamp our Celebrate Today on here in just Memento Black. Now this is a tiny, tiny little banner, and it just fits, as you can see. So if you have that, I would recommend you stamp your sentiment first and then go ahead and cut it out, and that will give you a cleaner image for your sentiment. I'm just going to grab my little scrap bin here. Sorry if you can hear one of my dogs whining. So tell me, I don't see anybody live, so tell me on the replay, you replay watchers, what have you been up to over the last month? Tell me in the comments. Have you been doing the same thing as me? Mowing the grass, tending to the garden, work, work, work. Never ends, I tell ya. So there are no dies with this stamp set, which is not a bad thing. That keeps the price point low on the stamp set, which is kind of nice. And then it's a fairly large image, so it's pretty easy to cut out. If you haven't heard already as well, Stampin' Up! Is going to change their packaging for their stamps and dies. They're going to be very similar to what we currently already have, just in one sizing, from what I understand. So you may have to do some alterations to your storage of dies and stamps. I store mine just a little bit differently depending, so I'm not going to have to change much, I don't think, which is kind of nice. And then red rubber will also be, or cling, will also be phased out pretty quickly here. And that's just because of supply of the rubber to make the stamps is becoming harder and harder for them to get. And photopolymer seems to be the chosen method of stamping for most people, I guess, is what I've been told. So I don't have a preference. I like both, although with the red rubber you can get more distinctive lines. Although with this one you'll see, like, the lines are pretty crisp and detailed for the image. So, you know, there aren't really drawbacks to the photopolymer. I think it's just a preference for most. I like that you can see through and line it up, and, you know, there are some definite benefits. Okay, I'm on the last leaf. This one comes together fairly quickly because there's not a lot of pieces involved. So is everyone out there ready for fall? I'm definitely not. Well, it means winter to me. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to pick which leaf, although I did make them fairly similar. I didn't dab out as good as I should have. You can introduce in different colors as well, depending on what the final look that you want. You can blend in the different colors to your base color. And then we'll just stick that one in there. And then we're going to bring in our little leaves. So as I said, this card is inspired by Connie Babbert of Inspired Treasures. You can find her. That's her tag in, I'm assuming, Facebook and Google and all that. I didn't go looking for her. I found this on Pinterest, so I just went with it because it was gorgeous. And then we're going to bring in our linen thread, so a staple of fall. Although we did get introduced in this suite an early espresso and an old olive one as well, but obviously those didn't really, well, I guess I could have done the old olive. Didn't really go with what I was doing, so this is always a good neutral. We also got introduced a black and white with gold woven in twine in the last online exclusive. So you've got some options there for your twine if you're like me and like to use a lot of it. It's kind of my go-to. And I find with ribbon, I just cut it in half. So to make shabby bows or tammy bows. All right, and then we're just going to layer this on top and add some iridescent foil gems. I think these are, like I say, I've got them tagged red, so they must still be current. I've been pretty good about keeping up on with what's current and what isn't and what hits the last chance list. Always check that out, though, you know, if not daily, on the weekly basis. Things fly in and out of there very, very quickly, and you can always get a good deal. I think November is our next upload, but don't quote me on that, or our next reload of online exclusives. Okay, so that is Celebrate Together Beautiful Artistic Leaves card. Hopefully I can't see that on my one screen, but hopefully you can. There we go. Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay, and then I made a couple more at Bingo. Brenda created these and shared them with us to go with the stamp set that we got. So this is one of them. Isn't that pretty? So that's bringing in lemon lime twist, old olive, and a little bit of secret sea and cloud cover. And then there's a little piece of that green paper, and then there's a little smidge there of the traditions of Christmas designer series paper. I don't think that's exactly what the designer paper is called though, but that's the suite it comes from. Okay, and then here's a lemon lolly one, and there you'll see the beautiful embossing folder. So it kind of looks very close to that paper with the Cajun craze. So we've just lemon lolly stamped some leaves in the background. That is just pecan pie, a little bit of the two-tone paper, and then crumb cake for our sentiment. And then these are from, oh, I can't even remember what they are still current. Little embellishments, I can't remember what they're called. Cute, right? So that's artistic leaves, some inspiration with that one. And then we're going to bring in one of my favorites, and I'm so glad that this carried over, More Than Autumn. And then it's got a die set that goes with it. All right. So I've pre-stamped out some of the parts that we need for this card. Let me just clear up a little bit of mess here. So I'll also tell you when you comment, you will be entered into the draw to win the card that I created. So it'll be one of these ones, and then the one we're going to create in a minute for the pumpkin, or with the More Than Autumn. And then I've also got some extras. The More Than Autumn stamp set, if you don't have it, will be added on with that card that I send out. And then if you already have the stamp set, you'll just let me know. And then my other little prize is the Circle of Season dies. These ones just left us, but they've got a little acorn that you can create. They've got a great little hello, some fall flowers, and a leaf. So these are great to still use for autumn card creating. So those are also little prizes that will come with the winner's stamp set. So let's look at the card here that we're going to create. Here we go. Now it does use a couple of retired things, so I will point that out, but you may have them in your stash. So that's why I wanted to bring them back to the forefront, so that you're using up some of your stash. All right, so let's create that. Now I've chosen a little bit of different colors, but because I wanted to bring in that gorgeous paper that I showed you earlier. So I've got a crushed curry card base, 5.5 by 4.5, scored at, or 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Give the right measurement, Shanna. All right, and then we've got a designer, or a cardstock that is 4 by 5.25. We brought in that paper. It's from the Coffee Suite. I don't even remember what the paper's called. I probably should have left it out so that I remembered the name. So we've got a 5 1/8 piece by 3 7/8, and that's just going to layer over top of this one to create our base. So we'll layer these all together, and then this card will come together pretty quickly. I've already stamped out sort of the parts that we need. We just have to give them a quick color and then place them down. So it'll be quick and easy. Hopefully I will get it done in our time frame. If not, I might go a couple minutes over. So we've got a cardstock piece that is 2 1/8 by 3 5/8, and then we've got some of that beautiful gathering together DSP with that champagne foil that is 2 by 3.5, and it is going to just layer over top of that. Now you can lay this piece flat, or you can dimensionalize it, whatever you want to do. I'm going to just lay it flat as I did in my original card. And it's just going to go in the middle. Does that look cute? This is a great little card that you can add just sort of an inside with a piece of designer paper and tuck in a gift card that you can go have your pumpkin spice lattes with your friends. And then we've got a 2.5-inch circle cut out of pecan pie, and this little layer in behind here too is pecan pie. I don't think I said that. And that's just going to go right in the center. And then we're going to bring in our little parts. I'm just going to go that way with that. So I've stamped out the little pumpkin, the little straw, and the cup and the whipped cream. Okay. And we're just going to do a really, really quick color. So I'm going to use my light crumb cake to just shade my cup a little bit. Now my other dog is groaning. And I'm going to bring in a light pumpkin pie and just color in my sleeve. Most of it will be covered, so I'm not going to worry too much about how well I color it in. We'll add a little bit of shading with the dark. You don't actually see down there, but there is some over there. And I'll just go back over it here. Give it a bit of dimension. Then we're going to color our little pumpkin with the light again. And I just shaded the side a little bit with the dark. Put that aside. And then I think I'm going to do the straw, just to be different than what I did before, with my dark crumb cake. And then I'm just going to leave my no shading or anything like that on my whipped cream, but I am going to add some Winka still. And I don't think I put it on this one. So let's just quickly go. There we go. Okay. So let's glue this together. I'll just throw that over there. Now you're just going to run a thin little line just on the top of your cup here. My glue will work. There we go. Normally I would put paper down here so I don't get it all over my mat. And then just stick that down. Build your cup. Now these do have dies. Obviously there's a lot of little parts in here, as you can see the dies here, and it does cut out words and stuff like that that you can layer. So there is one that cuts out the cup, there is one that cuts out the whipped cream, the pumpkin, and the straw. So you do have the options in the die set. Now I'm just going to do a little dab will do it to put my straw down. And then I'm going to use a mini on the back of my, mini dimensional, I should say the whole word, onto my pumpkin, and then just layer that right over top of the straw to hide that. Let's put that over there. Okay, so we've got that built. Cute, right? Okay, and then we can go ahead and we can put this sort of on an angle off to the side here. I'm going to grab my large dimensionals. So angle it just a smidgy boo. And then I've just gone ahead and heat embossed the sentiment. Now the sentiment didn't come out of More Than Autumn. It came out of Artistic Leaves, and it says hello sweet friend at the top here. And I've just embossed it in white. And I'm just going to trim my ends a little bit here because one of them is crooked. We're going to run our linen thread again, just in the middle, sort of just behind sweet. And I've got a double looped bow, so I'm just going to stick it down, loop, 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 and cut it off. Cute, right? It gets kind of messy, but once you stick it down, it'll look okay. And then we're going to grab our minis again, our mini dimensionals. You're going to want to keep them fairly close to the center, not off to the edges, because as you can see here that it will be on a different layer because our cup is dimensionalized, and it won't sit right if you have them stuck over here. Oops, I got to put my little heart. So my little heart came from the bee punch set, and I've just done basic beige. Obviously on this one I used wild wheat, so that is a retired color, but if you have it, you can use it. And then I just picked this because I figured it matched what we were doing. And we're going to go ahead and put that down. And it's done. Obviously finish the inside when you want. Got a couple little extra ones here to show you. Let's bring the stamp set in here. So I've got this one here. This one's super cute. This is retired paper here that I've used just went to my scrap bin and grabbed what I needed to. The Friends for Life is where the heart came from. Obviously, this stamp set more than Autumn. The hello is from the current little punch out die cuts words. I don't remember the name of the set. I apologize. This is from Iconic Christmas, the paper. This was just out of my scrap bin, so I think it's out of like a leftover paper pumpkin kit or just a kit in general. And then I've used the hearts that have retired from Season of Elegance. No, Hearts of Elegance. And then, of course, the same iridescent foil gems that I used on the first card, I brought in there. So we've got a little mix of new and current, and then the plaid embossing folder on the back. And then this one I made a while ago. I don't remember what Bailey's and Tea it was. Or maybe I just showed it and, oh, it was from this one. So it would have been a month ago. I made a pumpkin spice one. So it was this August 8th, 9th, around there is when I created this card. And then I think I showed this as an extra one, but I brought it back out because, of course, it's pumpkin season. And it's a little gift card that you can just tuck a gift card into the side of it. And you could easily do the same with just running a piece of paper, designer series paper along the bottom of that, and then tuck your card in there to go treat your friend to a pumpkin spice latte or something. So let's bring in all the extras here. I guess we don't need both of those, do we? No, we might as well. They look exactly the same. But so that is all of your inspiration for the week with artistic leaves from the online exclusives and More Than Autumn from the regular mini catalog. Although when I looked in the catalog, I didn't see it, but I may have just been looking too quickly and missed it. And it's in there. Trust me, you can order it. The ordering number is on the back here. Where is it here? 164228. Okay. And the dies are still available. They are not bundled together anymore though, so just note that. And that's all I have for you today, friends. So I hope you enjoyed. Please, if you watch the replay, I'll bring this one back in too. If you watch the replay, make sure that you comment so that I can draw a name for these lovely little prizes and the cards that we created today. And I will be back after Creative Carnival. So I'm not sure of the date because I can't actually, maybe the 27th, if I count in my brain. From next Saturday? No, 27th is Creative Carnival. I'll be back, so it'll be October when I'm back for my next one. So be on the lookout for that. I will get much better at loading things on time, I promise. And so you'll know what's going on. And like I say, check out that advent calendar. Let your family know if that's something you want for Christmas. They can order that on the 23rd. And if you'd like to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin to get some quick and easy little Christmas card pre-done pieces and ready to go kit, you can get the Cozy Christmas kit till October the 10th. And then we're going to switch over into a little box with tags. So that will be fun and get you going for your Christmas crafting abilities of whatever you need to gift to your friends and family. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you all, and we will chat soon. Well, in October. We'll chat in October. All right, take care. Enjoy your pumpkin spice, and I will see you soon. Paper hugs. Bye-bye.